Good evening, I'm John Carter and welcome to Poland Daily. Around 5 million Polish students began their summer holidays today. The well-deserved rest will last until September the 2nd. The Prime Minister of Poland, Mateusz Morawiecki, wished the students happy holidays when he attended the end-of-year celebrations at the High School No. 2 in Helm.
Dear students, I wish you all a beautiful holiday period. I hope you will take a book or two with you, which you wouldn't have to write an essay about, and I wish you will take trips which you won't have to write reports on. I wish you have holidays which you will enjoy fully, and also that you return safely from, wherever your adventures take you. In your school's anthem there is a verse saying that you will always stand on the side of the truth, and it's a very beautiful phrase. I'm very grateful for it, for the way you sang it. We always need to stand on the side of the truth. That's why I ask you to always speak well of Poland wherever you go on your holidays.
My plans for vacation are to go on a sail camp and to have fun and party.
Actually, I have no plans yet. I'll think of something in time.
Well, I guess the same plans as ever, to chill by the Vistula riverbank and in the meantime read a pool novel, watch a pool film, you know, cultural growth.
Participants of the Poland Rock Festival, organised by Jerzy Owsiak, will be able to reach Kostrzyn on the Oder River on specially provided trains. The decision for the additional trains to take fans to the festival was made by Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. Jerzy Owsiak is known for his uncompromising criticism of the ruling Law and Justice Party.
The Prime Minister agreed to provide special trains for the festival organised by the Owsiak Foundation, despite the negative position of Przewozy Regionalne, the Polish train operator. The carrier's board argued that additional trains to Kostrzyn during the festival will bring losses, specifically due to the devastation of the fleet by the participants of the festival. After speaking with Joachim Brudziński and Minister Elżbieta Witek, out of concern for the safety of the participants of the festival in Kostrzyn on the Oder, instructed Minister Andrzej Adamczyk to prepare trains that will bring the participants to the destination. It will also be protected by the services subordinate to the Ministry of Interior. Jerzy Owsiak, the festival organizer, commented on the Prime Minister's decision in his trademark fashion. There will be additional trains, as communicated by the Prime Minister after his consultations with Joachim Brudziński and Minister Elżbieta Witek. Long story short, common sense prevailed. Columnists have doubts as to whether the government should support a private party whose head is openly attacking the government, as exemplified by Jerzy Owsiak's statements made after the elections to the European Parliament won by Law and Justice. The Great Orchestra of Christmas Charity has become a political mechanism of the so-called fight for democracy. The politicians who appeared at the festival, they were not politicians of the Law and Justice, as they were themselves engaged in the fight for democracy. The opposition, which criticized the failure to launch additional connections to Kostrzyn via Przewozy Regionalne, has now begun to criticize the Prime Minister's decision. Special trains to Kostrzyn and Oder for the 25th edition of Poland Rock will be implemented at the end of July. The festival begins on August 1st.
3 Russians and 1 Ukrainian are suspected of shooting down a Malaysian passenger plane. The shooting took place in July 2014 over Donbass, when the Russian invasion was taking place there. All 298 of the mostly Dutch passengers of the MH17 flight died.
3 Russians and a Ukrainian will face murder charges for the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 over Ukraine 5 years ago, in which all 298 people aboard were killed. The suspects named for the first time will likely be tried in absentia in a trial due to start next March in the Netherlands, since Russia says it doesn't trust the Dutch-led investigation and it isn't expected to hand anyone over. MH17 was shot out of the sky in 2014 over territory held by pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. Most of the passengers were Dutch. The investigation team found the missile used was Russian, and the Dutch and Australian governments have blamed Russia. And while President Vladimir Putin has called MH17's fate a terrible tragedy, he has long held that Moscow isn't to blame. International arrest warrants have been issued for the 4 men.
US President Donald Trump formally launches his 2020 re-election campaign in Orlando, Florida. He'll be campaigning under the slogan, "Keep America Great."
We're going to keep it better than ever before. And that is why tonight I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term as President of the United States.
The president spoke for an hour and a half before the 20,000 auditorium, listing his achievements. At the same time, he emphasized how much still needs to be done. Donald Trump did not spare Democrats, describing them as leftist extremists whose goal is, as he described, to destroy America as you know it.
We went through the greatest witch hunt in political history. The only collusion was committed by the Democrats, the fake news media and their operatives, and the people who funded the phony dossier, crooked Hillary Clinton and the DNC.
In the context of recent changes in the anti-abortion law, several American states strongly echoed the words of Trump, which he addressed to pro-life activists.
Virtually every top Democrat also now supports taxpayer-funded abortion right up to the moment of birth, ripping babies straight from the mother's womb. Leading Democrats have even opposed measures to prevent the execution of children after birth. You saw that in Virginia. Republicans believe that every life is a sacred gift from God.
It did not take long for the Democrats to respond. Trump's appearance in Orlando was commented on by Bernie Sanders, Trump's rival during the presidential campaign in 2016 and, as it turns out, this time round as well.
An hour-and-a-half speech of lies, distortions, and total absolute nonsense. That is quite an experience. We have a president who is a racist, who is a sexist, who is a homophobe, who is a xenophobe, and he is a religious bigot. And his strategy to win re-election is to divide the American people up based on the color of our skin, based on where we were born, based on our religion, based on our sexual orientation. And our job is not to allow him to do that.
Donald Trump did not remain indebted.
No matter what label they use, a vote for any Democrat in 2020 is a vote for the rise of radical socialism and the destruction of the American dream.
The slogan of Donald Trump's current campaign will be "Keep America Great."
We will make America great again.
Thank you very much for joining me here this evening at Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. Stay tuned after the break for Poland Daily weather. It's followed by the business, culture, history and finally the travel.